Hi, my name is Sriram, and I run a company called U Breakthrough Solutions. And this video is about the latest job openings. And on that regard, I have Tabassum and Rohan from Biflix Consulting, and they're going to share some insight in terms of the job openings that they have. At the same time, we're also going to have some discussion around some scoop in terms of how people can apply, what people should look for, a candidate who is applying for a job. What are some of the things that he or she should look for? So those are things that we are trying to bring out in content from this video. So hi Tabassum and hi Rohan, welcome both of you for the to this video.
Thank you, Sriram.
Hi Sriram.
Great. So Tabassum, why don't you run us through any latest job openings that you may have with Biflix?
Sure, I'll do that. Okay, so let me tell you about this job opportunity, which is there, for one of our multinational client, and that's basically to deal with, Java J2E. Now, along with Java J2E, see, Java J2E is something which is not a very niche skill, I would say. But along with Java J2E, there is a combination of PL SQL, wherein the client is definitely wanting to have an equal amount of exposure, somebody who is well exposed to Java, hands-on experience in Java, plus at the same time they should be very, very skilled at PL SQL programming. So somebody who has both the skills, and they should have done a lot of projects in banking domain. So it's not just about, somebody who comes with Java PL SQL skills, but at the same time, the candidate must have done multiple projects in banking domain. So that is how it is, with, experience which ranges between 5 to 10 years.
Okay, that's fabulous. So, as we understand, this is basically for one of the leading banks, and it's for the BFSI sector.
Right.
Okay. Any other details that you can probably share in terms of, you shared about the number of years of experience, and you shared exactly the kind of skill set that you're looking for and the experience. How many years of experience are you looking for in this particular domain that you're hiring for?
Right. So see, there are two levels for which we are hiring at this point of time. Now, one is a software engineer and one would be a senior software engineer. So when we say software engineer, the overall years of experience that we are looking forward to is 5. And out of 5 years of experience, we are looking to have a candidate with minimum 4 years or 4.5 years of relevant experience. And at least 2 years they should have done a project which is into banking domain. This is for a software engineer. Now, when we talk about a senior software engineer, their overall years of experience should be approximately 10 years. And out of that, at least 5 years or 6 years should be relevant into Java plus PL SQL. And they should have done banking projects, at least about 5 to 6 banking projects, which ranges maybe between 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay, fabulous. Okay. So when you say banking project, you're talking about a developmental project, right? In terms of building a tool.
So the client is very specific. They do not want any production support, or they do not want any maintenance kind of a project. So definitely they want somebody who is involved into end-to-end development. So definitely not looking out for somebody who is doing a support role.
Okay. So great. I think that's a good scoop, Tabassum.
Yes.
Okay. So any other skills or any other kind of experience which you probably feel that you would prefer, any certification requirements or any other, anything else that you may look for apart from what you just mentioned, which are critical?
Right. So apart from Java, now see, a lot of companies are now working on Kubernetes and Dockers. So anybody who has got a fair amount of understanding and knowledge on microservices architecture, Dockers and Kubernetes is always an added plus. And the web servers, obviously any Java candidate who is into development would have to work on a lot of web servers. So when we talk about web servers, it has to be either a WebLogic or a JBoss application server. So these are, skills which, in addition to what I've mentioned. And when you talk about Java, obviously there will be some frameworks on which a candidate will be working. It can be either Struts, or it can be Spring, or it can be Hibernate. Now they need a candidate to have at least one of these. Either they should have worked on Spring, Struts, or Hibernate. And when I say these, they have to be expert level experience in one of these technologies.
Understood.
I can have this JD shared with you, Sriram. I mean, just for your reference, I'll share this with you.
Sure. What I'll do is I'll just take some of the skill sets from that.
Yes.
Most important points that you are highlighting,
yes.
And I might probably just keep it on the video so that people can refer to it. Great. So that's one JD that we've discussed. Any other openings that you may have at this point of time?
We do a lot of recruitment. I mean, the one which I spoke right now is something to do with the technical skills. Would BPO be of interest to you? I can talk about BPO as well.
Any job, whether
right?
It's BPO, startups, anybody is any kind of job.
All right, perfect. So I'll tell you, we are hiring for one of our client, which is one of the leading, companies in the BPO sector. Now, this profile is basically into pre-selling. Pre-selling of, yes. So pre-selling of cloud services, right?
Okay.
Now, when a client is looking for pre-selling of cloud services, now there are two different kind of audience that the client is targeting. Now, one audience who comes with a relevant experience into pre-sales. It can be pre-sales of any software, product or any software service. So they are not specific that the candidate should be into selling of cloud solutions. It can be anything as long as they know what pre-selling means. They are aware what is bidding. They are aware what is RFP. They are aware what is RFQ. As long as they know what a pre-sales, what different levels of pre-sales include, they're absolutely okay with it. So one is a pre-sales audience. Now the next set of audience that they targeting are people who all are doing research. So basically there are companies who do a lot of research. Now in research also there are two different type of research that any candidate gets involved into. Now one is a primary research wherein they do not have the source which is already available. Now these are the ones who are going to do the research right from the, I would say right from the start. They do not have any source which is available. And there is another set of research people who will work on secondary research. The source of those research is already available. They just have to pull it from there and that is readily available. Secondary research. So, this is for the pre-selling of cloud solutions.
So when you say research, can you just elaborate a little bit more in terms of what exact, I mean, I understand research, but research of what? Is that technology research or is that something else? What exactly is that?
It is definitely related to technology research.
Okay. Okay. So, that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, what exactly are the skill sets that you're probably looking for? What is the experience level that you're looking for both of these types of roles?
Right. So this particular role that we are hiring at a team lead level. Though we say it's a team lead level, now there are many organizations when they say team lead, they would mean it's a team lead and it's a team leading role. But here, though the designation says it's a team lead, it's not definitely a team leading role as such. It will be an individual contributor. The designation will be a team lead because even these people are supposed to do pre-selling. They're supposed to do bidding. They're supposed to do research. They're not going to handle any team. So it's an individual contributor. The years of experience will start between 4 to 7 years of experience.
Okay. Okay. And this is both for research as well as for pre-sales.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Any, specific skill set that you're looking for to differentiate between the pre-sale and the research kind of jobs?
See, see, when you say pre-selling, obviously you will have to find out, skills which are related to pre-sales. I mean, a pre-sales person will definitely be involved into bidding of the projects, into RFQs, into RFIs. Now, these are the things what we are looking out for, for a pre-sales guy. Now, when it comes to research, that's altogether a different, different set of skills that you might have to look out for. So yes, these are two different things.
Understood. Fair enough. Got it. Great. Just one question, Tabassum. This is basically for the curiosity and also for people to know more about it. Are we supposed to discuss the salaries of these jobs, like approximate ranges and stuff like that?
And that all depends on their current salary. And the client that I'm talking about, it's not that they give the same amount of hike to everybody. It also depends. Now, while they take the interview of candidates, they also give some kind of a rating.
Right.
So if a candidate gets a very good rating, there are high chances that they may offer, beyond a normal industry standard of 30% or maybe 35%. It can be beyond that. But somebody whose rating is not good, they will end up just giving 10 to 15% of hike.
I think that's very insightful.
Yes.
Right. So that's pretty informative.
Exactly.
Right. So, but at the same time, assume that you basically find a candidate who's good enough, but maybe slightly lower than your shortlisting criteria. Do you also take people as an exception who's got a lot of skill sets, has good experience, but maybe salary wise he or she may be slightly lower, or you just don't take exceptions at all?
No, actually we have to do that, because see, we are working with the client, and even client works in a very strict deadline. They have to close these number of positions within this amount of time. So there are times wherein we find a candidate and they are extremely good in terms of the skills, but maybe slightly expensive or maybe beyond the budget what a client has given. Now these, one or two cases, we can definitely take it and we can discuss with the client. And there are times wherein they get approved and the candidates are offered also.
That's good. Okay, great. All right. And okay, so what are some of the, why don't you share some insight in terms of how do recruiters basically look for candidates? What are the keywords that you generally look, kind of search with, so that people are also aware as to how their resume, what is the process for a resume to be shortlisted, stuff like that. In case if you have any information related to that, I think that will be helpful.
Okay, so I'll give you one insight, Sriram. So while we were hiring for this pre-sales and research skill that I'm talking about, now what happened is we got quite a lot of candidates who all were immediate joiners, and they just mentioned in their resume that they were working till May 2020 or they were working till June 2020. But there was not even a single, resume which mentions as to why they are not working from June or why they are not working from May. So there were a lot of resumes which were getting rejected. And then I just insisted if we can have a call with the panel who is shortlisting the resume, so that we get a better understanding as to why are the profiles, because we are getting some immediate joiners. So why are we not able to get those profiles as shortlists? So when I spoke, I got to understand that the panel, see, they would be screening, about 50 to 60 resumes in a day, right? So they would not have time to call each and every candidate or maybe try and understand as to what is the reason for this gap in their career. So if you get me the resumes of those candidates who are not working, and they have mentioned in their resume as to what is the reason for this career gap, that gives them an insight as to what happened. Is this genuine or this is not genuine? And that, that helps them to screen the profile in a much better way. And that actually kind of increased my hit ratio. And I started getting more shortlists.
Well, that's okay. This is one question that I'm asked quite often by my candidates, right? I've trained quite a few people. I prepare a lot of people for interviews.
Right.
So we do a lot of these kind of sessions for interview skills as well. So one question that I'm often asked by people is, I basically lost my job recently, so they feel it's a negative. And of course, that is a human perception, right? So if
Right.
somebody's out of job, the first thought that I have is basically, okay, he's a non-performer, right? So that is the reason he's lost his job or her. But that may not be always the case, right?
Yes,
A lot of times a person loses a job because of the situation, the COVID situation, whatever the situation may be, or circumstances may be. And what I've also seen off late in the last couple of years is that the number of people who have probably lost their job in their career, almost every third person or the fourth person that I speak to has at some point of time lost, their job.
Absolutely. Yes.
Especially talking about high-paid jobs, right?
Yes.
So in such cases, people feel that it's a stigma for me to present myself and saying that, hey, I lost my job. So I always tell them that, be proud and say that, yes, I lost my job and I've learned through it, because of whatever situations may be. Because the more you try to hide it, the more the other person is going to doubt you, right? So that's exactly what I keep telling all my people.
Right.
Do you have anything to add on to that? How do people perceive, how do companies and organizations perceive when I'm sure you interact with so many clients, right? I'm sure they also have all these doubts in their mind.
Right.
So how do you guys deal with it? And what is your suggestion for people?
See, that's what I say, Sriram. There are few companies, who may not want candidates who are in between their jobs. But I work with a lot of premium clients who actually utilize this as an opportunity so that they can get candidates on board as fast as possible. So I have a client, wherein they specifically hire for females who have gone on a maternity break and would want to get back to work as soon as possible. So they have arranged a drive only for females who are back from their maternity leave. And it all depends on companies. But then I think now the hiring trends have changed, and there are companies who would want to utilize this as an opportunity and get the best talent and make them join as fast as possible. So it all depends on how you present yourself. Losing a job is something which is not in anybody's hand, but then if it is genuine and if you know how to represent it, I think there are companies who are ready to absorb you. Not an issue.
That's okay. That's good information. Okay. And one last thing that I want to ask you specifically to the jobs is that, do you have any numbers, like you spoke about Java, requirements, and you also spoke about some pre-sales requirements, and you spoke about some research requirements. Do you have any numbers in mind in terms of how many candidates are you looking for those jobs, and how soon do they want the candidates to join? Is there any notice period requirements that they have?
See, the pre-sales role that I spoke about, that is an ongoing requirement, but the latest update as of today is they want at least 12 people to be onboarded by the 15th of October. So that means they're looking out for people who are out of their job and who are readily available to join the moment they clear their interview. So plus they have people who can be onboarded at the max by end of November. That might range anywhere between 20 to 25. So in total, they are looking forward to hire 40 plus people. I mean, I would rather say 40 to be more precise. The Java role that I spoke about is, again, maybe you can consider that to be 10 or 12 at the max. But there we do not have any constraint on the notice period. We can even look at somebody who is willing to join within 60 days of time. So that is also fine.
Fabulous. Great. All right. So I think I'm going to put this up as soon as possible on social media so that people get, whoever wants to apply for the pre-sales roles can apply as soon as possible. And is there any way people can send across their resumes to you? What is the email ID and everything? I'm sure you will send it across to me so that I can put it up on this video. Or any other medium that you want them to apply through, please let us know so that we can put that up. Right. So, yeah. So I think for today's session, we will keep it to this much information. I think your insight has been pretty helpful, Tabassum. And I think, people have, I'm sure a lot of people who want to benefit from this will do so. So
Absolutely.
Week on week, I would want to probably create a video so we can probably dash the latest openings. At the same time, we will keep coming up with more discussions on how candidates can prepare themselves better, right?
Right. Right.
So there's lot more content, lot many more discussions, lot many more issues
Right.
Right.
that I'm sure you guys have, you guys face day to day, right? With
Right.
candidates. What
Absolutely.
kind of candidates get rejected? What kind of candidates get selected? There are a lot of topics of discussions which we will open up on a week-on-week basis.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, both of you, Tabassum and Rohan from Viflex.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
both,
so
and
much.
I'll see you
Sridham.
guys next week sometime.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thank you
Sriram.
so
Thank you.
much.